Do you feel the vibes?
Hello, my sexy subscribers and new newbies. Happy Tuesday, and I'm coming at you live with a little mid to high level moneymaker guide. This method is kind of a niche method, but can make you anywhere from 300 to 600k per hour depending on how lucky you get. For this moneymaker method, you will need to have completed Making Friends with My Arm, which is a new quest that continues the Troll quest line. I'm going to put all the requirements on screen, but I'm also going to list them out, and here they are. You need to have completed the quests My Arm's Big Adventure, Swan Song, Cold War, and Romeo and Juliet. It also requires you to have the stats of 72 mining, 68 agility, 66 fire making, which is non-boostable, and 35 construction. As far as items you will just need the best pickaxe you can wield and one icy basalt. For me, the best pickaxe is a rune pickaxe because I'm too cheap and too poor to afford a dragon pickaxe. But if you can, great. I'm not sure, but I believe that a dragon pickaxe should increase your GP per hour, but the XP per hour is the same regardless. The red salt is called tea salt. The reason you will be mining red salt as compared to green and blue salt is because players need 1100 red salt to build all the fires around RuneScape, compared to the 750 and 700 quantities of the other salts that you need. So in theory, because it has the most demand, it should sell for the most. Now, one thing to note is that this method is constant for all salts, meaning that no matter what salt you're mining, you'll get the same amount per hour. So before you go and do this money-making method, go test each salt on the GE and see which one is selling for the most, because that would be the best one to farm. Now on screen, you're going to see how we're going to do this money-making method. What we're going to do is we're going to click our icy basalt, climb over the rocks, and then we're going to head to the main room where the last boss fight was, and from there, we're going to climb down into the mine. Now, because we're farming the red salt, you're going to stand at the red salt spot. But if you were to farm the blue or green salt, you can stand in the triple spots, which are to the right of both of these areas. Now, as you can see, I'm starting to mine the salt. The nice thing is that it piles on itself, so you never run out of inventory space, and it mines in fast quantities. So it's also relatively AFK too, because the ores stay there for a long time. Now, I put 5 minutes up on the clock, and I tested this a few times, and on average, I was averaging between 250 and 300 salt per 5 minutes, meaning that you could get around 3,000 to 3,600 salt per hour. And you can stay here for as many hours as you like, and you can also switch between the salts. Now, another thing you can do before you leave, or as an alternative money-making method, is mine the basalt themselves, but these unfortunately do not stack, but they are worth 1,000 each. So perhaps when you're leaving, you can just mine 26 of them to fill up the rest of your inventory and get a free 26k. Now, what I'm doing on the GE is I showed you that I can sell the basalts for a consistent price of 1,000. Now, the reason this money-making method is kind of niche is because the value of these salts varies so much, it's ridiculous. Yesterday I was selling these for 200, and today I was trying to sell them and I couldn't sell them, so I ended up selling them for like 111 GP each, which is very little. So even taking the lowest price that I was selling them at 111, you're gonna average around 340k to 400k per hour. Now again, guys, this money-making method is all about a single buyer. If one person decides to buy 1,000 of their red salts at 250 GP each, you're going to make like $1 million. But if someone decides, or if no one decides they're buying that day because they just want to go mine them themselves, and you have to sell them like I did for 111 each, well, you're only going to make 350k an hour. So it's not bad considering the prerequisites, but it just is very niche in the fact that it really is a buyer's market, and it just depends on what someone is willing to pay that day. One last thing is that you also won't be gaining any XP really while doing this method. So this method is really for when you're just doing homework and you want to do something on RuneScape in the background that's super AFK and can make you money. Because if you're actively playing and you have some of these stats, you probably have access to better money-making methods of this. So this is really just one of those AFK, put RuneScape in the background type money-making methods. And it's not for your active players who could go PVM or actually skill like attentively. So with that being said, it is Tuesday. We're halfway through the week. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Remember, if you're enjoying the content, to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And without further ado, peace!